Hello everyone. It's a good day, and I would like to take a moment and tell you about some wonderful tools that we found online when we try to analyze some text sentiments and do some text mining activities. So what it exactly does is that if you have no programming experience whatsoever, so you're the same kind of humanitarian folks as I am, then you would find this very much useful. So let's proceed. Basically, in order to start using Voyant Tools, so this is the tool that we're going to show you how it works, you need to have a data set, some text corpus that you want to analyze to reveal some hidden connections or to understand the meaningful topic clusters inside the text, or to another type of unexpected discoveries. So we already have one. Let's try to upload it. So our text consists of comments to at least 85 articles on a single given Indian online news website. We scrape them, and here you see the results of this scraping. So these are all the comments which are coming after all those 85 articles. In total, they gave us around 306 pages of text. Given the recent phenomenon of internet trolls and the rising importance of public opinion on the internet, we wanted to detect whether any of the comments were likely to be manipulated by an organized body. So that was our objective. However, you can use whatever text you like. It's up to you. All the tools will be still applicable. So the data is really easy to upload. You have several options. You can select the file which contains all the text you want to upload, or you can simply copy and paste the text you're interested in inside the window. It takes a while, but trust me, you have all the 300 pages here, and then you click Reveal. And here's where the magic happens. Okay, so it has loaded. So as you can see, there are a lot of interesting tools, and we shall explain them one by one. Let's start from the top left corner. This tool is called Series, and basically it shows you the most frequent words which occur in the text. Given that we were working with a political section, and political section in India, there is no wonder that we see Modi, who is Prime Minister, and India, people, country, money, government, Congress, which is the opposition party, and things like that. The other nice thing you can do with series is to increase the number of terms shown. So currently this is 55 terms, the most popular ones, but you can go as far as 125 or 500 terms. Okay, let's continue. So in the middle you see the actual comments that we have uploaded, and if you want you can search in those comments. But I would say that this instrument is not so interesting in comparison to what you can do actually here in this tool. So let us change the tool to something more meaningful, and this would be collocations. So collocations is the words which occur together pretty frequently in the text. What you see now, these are like two words which occur together and the number of frequencies of the occurrences. And this happens within 5 words. So Usually BGP comes in the next or in the previous 5 words, and it happened like 87 times. So let's explore some particular terms. For instance, let's click on term Modi. So as you can see, Modi is frequently associated with PM, which is his position, government, BGP, which is his party. He's good, and he's compared to Rahul, which is the opposition leader, and he's great, and he has said something, and sometimes he can't do something, which is pretty interesting. Also, these tools play nicely together. So for instance, we go to phrases section here. What you see is the most frequent phrases which occur in all the 300 pages we're referring to. And these are the phrases which contain the term Modi. What you can do here is you can try to adjust the length of the phrase which you're referring to. Let's say it's 11 words and it's more than 3. And you have the number of repetitions of exactly the same type of things and the length of those things. So sometimes when you're looking for trolls, you might notice that they use the same phrases, and if the same phrases occur a lot of times, then it might be a good notion that these trolls exist and they have a script that they follow. So the less automated part is context. You still need to pick the word you're looking for, but then it gets interesting. So you see what's happening in the text right before and right after the word. So you can have the filling of the context and create your own hypothesis for future research. Let's look at another example of the guy whose name is Kanaya. So as you can see, his name is Kumar, and potentially he's anti-government, and he was talking about BGP, and there was something related to freedom and debate and students and people and national, and he might have become a hero or something, and you might tell this even without looking at the exact news. The interesting thing about him is that he was actually a student who spoke against the government, and he was labeled as anti-nationalist, and government actually charged him or tried to charge him, and this was huge on the news. And you can see it all found its way into comments and wide discussion with the population. Okay, so this is called links, and this is very cool. So this tool shows you the network graph which works with the high frequency words and shows connections between them. So in case you were wondering what each tool is doing, you can see some quick help here which explains basically what I just told. And for our text, as you can see, the most frequent words are Modi, India, and people. And if you go over Modi, you can see that it occurs 938 times in the text. And the same with any other words. The cool thing you can do with it is that you can try to fix the words you're interested in so they do not move. You can try to get rid of words you're not interested in, and you can change the context. So what the context is, Currently it shows as 5, which means that these are the most frequent words occurring together within 5 immediate words in the text. And you can try to change it. Let's see what happens. Okay, here you go. As you have noticed, it is also synchronized with other tools, or at least most of the tools. But what would you do if the word which you're interested in is not so frequent, but you still want to understand what kind of connections it has? Luckily, you have the answer. You can type it here. So for instance, you're interested in the words Rahul, who is the opposition leader, and Papu, which is the word which is used to talk about Rahul. So it's like kind of nickname, maybe not the best one. So, interesting enough, Rahul is not directly connected to Papu, but it's connected to Congress, and Rahul is connected to Congress as well, which is the opposition party, and Gandhi is apparently the last name of Rahul. Also, it looks like in some of our articles there were hot discussions regarding Rahul, so maybe something happened in the news that there are so many people who were discussing him. Okay, so I'm clicking here, and basically we find ourselves in the heart of discussion about Rahul. So it seems like Baba is another name which they used to call Rahul. So let's look Baba. And if you're interested, you can use wildcards to see all the different types of Babas in the same graph. Okay. Yep. And let's fix it. Okay, so you can see that Rahul is basically, or Baba is connected to Rahul, and it's most of the comments made by anonymous guys. Okay, let's move on. Another popular tool is bubble lines, or you can call it bubbliness if you want. So what it shows you is the frequency of occurrence of different words in text over time. So imagine that these are the comments at the beginning of the month, and these are the comments at the end of the month, and these are the words we're looking into. So we can look at them separately and see how far or how often they occur in the text. Let's do some more meaningful search for some rare words. So for instance, Rahul and Congress, which is his party, Papu, the name they used to call him, and potentially Baba, which is another name for him. And we can get rid of some terms we're not really interested in because they cloud our judgment. So, what you see here is that the most popular word in our corpus is Congress, and apparently Congress and Rahul and Papu, as you can see, they're all very much correlated. So they occur mostly at the same time in the same articles and the same comments. And it is less so for Baba, for some reason. Maybe this is the more negative way of referring to Rahul, and it is not used in allocations, but might be that we have too few data to judge. Also, you can play a bit with the granularity here. So what you see is the aggregation of comments in big or small circles, and if you try to increase granularity, it will look like this. So this is the exact time and place in the text where the comment occurs, and they're not aggregated in some stuff. And this is the very aggregated version. So what's good about these tools is that they offer you a lot of different ways of exploring the same data. So for instance, when it comes down to frequency and occurrence in the text, so you've already seen this representation, and you've seen this one when you can compare different words, and there is another one which you might have noticed at the beginning. It is called trends. So it shows you the frequency of occurrence in the word the words you see here in the text in different segments. So it's like the last 10% of the corpus, and this is the first 10% of the corpus. So you can do the same things as here. So you can delete some words and you can add the new ones, and you can look at the frequency and occurrence. So you can still look at Modi as a single term, and you can add another ones. If you want to compare different documents for the same terms, it's better that you use not raw frequencies but relative frequencies. So this is the percent or share of these words in the total number of words in the corpus, the ones we're interested in. And of course, if it's relative, you can compare it to different documents. Okay, so what if we explore some interesting tools in a larger format? And start with some simple things and simple words you're interested in. So I'm still interested in associations with Modi and not India. So these are pretty straightforward. But what if we increase the context? So you see some new words appear. And then what happens next? As soon as I try to decrease the context here, all these words stay, but it is trying to offer you as many additional words and context for each of the words present here. So if previously I was only working with Modi, then I will be working with all the terms which are in here. So see what's happening. Okay, all of them get expanded. So this is how it works here. Okay, let's go back to the main interface. So what it offers you, as we mentioned previously, it provides you explanation for the tools. It also allows you to change the tool to the one you like. And it allows you to open it as a single tool and work with it. So as you can understand, basically you can change the order of tools here, and you can use any of these 5 windows for any of the tools you like, so you can rearrange them. And the most beautiful thing out of all is that, as you can see, this link is unique, so you can use it to download and analyze exactly the same corpus I'm working with at the moment. So it's available to you, you can see it, and you can try it yourself if you want to. It's not private. Then you need to use the same kind of link which is creating a unique URL, preserving the configuration we're working with. Yes, so you can see even in the description here, it tells you what panels are you using. And if you start with this link, it will show you exactly the panels you wanted. The downside of it is the same. It will start all the panels from the square one. So it will preserve the choice of the panels, but not the contents that you were analyzing. And I think we'll leave you with that. So we just shown you the most interesting tools that we found really useful. And of course you can try to use some other tools that we're not talking about. If you try to work with a scatter plot, you can basically try to create separate clusters which will be built based on the pre-existing connections inside your data. And you're going to use the principal components analysis in order to identify what kind of clusters you have and what is the topic that unites them all. And there is another interesting tool which we propose that you try for yourself. It's called Knots, and this is pretty awesome. We'll leave you on this note, so please do it yourself. And until next time, bye.